Hey everybody, this is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. Happy Saturday. This is a quick look ahead to the Sixers game in 20 minutes at the Denver Nuggets. Sixers are 15 and 19 at 10th in the East, and the Nuggets are 19 and 16 at 6th in the West. Joel Embiid again is going to be sitting out due to rest, which is kind of annoying, being he already had a day, and he looked good last game, having 29 points. He's definitely not one of the reasons we allowed that comeback to happen. He was actually on the bench for most of that comeback. And kind of just getting annoying that we're even resting him after he has a day off. So I don't really understand the whole, because at the beginning of the season it was, oh, we're not going to have him play back-to-backs, but if there's a day in between, he will play the next game. Now it's just whenever we feel like resting him, we're going to rest him. And I understand we want to give him the most longevity to play as he can, but also, if you are saying, like management's saying, and like the coaches are saying, as fans we can say, oh, well, obviously, I still trust the process, you got to trust the process, but obviously we're going for the future as well. Well, yeah, of course, every team does that, though. But when the management and coaches, if you read articles or you watch CSN and you watch Philly Sports Talk, whatever, shows directly about the Sixers, NBA TV, they all say it. They talk about how they also want to start winning now. They know the team's at a position to also win and make the playoffs this year. Well, how we're managing our whole team doesn't seem like we care too much about this year and care a lot more about future years. So if that's the case, I'm not necessarily not okay with that, but it would be a lot nicer if the team communicated that case like they did prior when we were in the bigger part of the process, which was getting to the point we're at now, and now we're trusting it to get even further above and beyond and get much better when Fultz comes back, which is supposed to be soon, which is great, to mix him into the loop, because I think, truthfully, his shot was messed up because we played him through injuries no matter what our medical staff says. And we will start bringing stuff together then, and then hopefully by next month Embiid's able to play more back-to-backs, because if we start getting going when Fultz is in and Embiid's in and out of the lineup, the Sixers are still a fun team to watch no matter what with their young talent, but it's like my friend said when we were hanging out the other day, and I agree 100%, there is a little bit of you that questions, should I take time out of my day to watch the game if I have other stuff I could possibly do when Joel Embiid's not in the game? Because Joel Embiid is that, like, X factor of a talent on the team, much like a Wentz on the Eagles, but football is much different where you have that GOAT defense also on the Eagles and other guys around him, where the main guy that you go to when the Sixers need a bucket in crunch time is Joel Embiid. Because Ben Simmons can do many things, but one of them is not shooting, and he will probably work on that, and he will probably get better, but right now, one of them is not shooting. J.J. Redick obviously could be someone you could try to go to at the end of the games, but he's been up and down of late and has even acknowledged that himself. And then Roko's been very up and down of late and keeps acknowledging that himself. So, and then Amir Johnson, as I always said, has just been doing terrible of late. So the Sixers just need to get together, and if their plan is to try to go somewhere this year, well, I don't know why we're resting Joel Embiid. And it's a team that has Jokic, who's a great center in himself, and if we don't put Rashawn Holmes in against Jokic, and we keep Amir Johnson in most of this game, the Sixers are going to get killed down low. Because Jokic is going to bully Amir Johnson until day's end. Night's end, now being it's a late game in the East Coast. But, because he averages 16.2 and 10 boards, he averages a double-double and about 5 assists himself. So he can make plays when he needs to, and he also shoots about 36% from the three, so he can knock down those shots when he needs to. And we see Amir Johnson trying to guard when Embiid's not playing, big men that can shoot the three. It hasn't worked yet, so it's not going to work now. And he also gets out-rebounded by any big man that averages a double-double, which, ergo, Jokic averages a double-double. So without Embiid playing, this game is definitely not looking pretty for how the Sixers are going to situation down low, which means if they want to win this game, they really have to play well at guarding the perimeter and knocking down shots and being very efficient on offense themselves. Otherwise, this game can go south fast without Joel Embiid's defense in the game and rebounding, because the Nuggets have Will Barton, who can knock down some threes if you leave him open, and they have Wilson Chandler, who can also knock down some threes. Granted, his percentage is low this year, but a lot of guys that have a low percentage this year have been killing the Sixers, like Justin Holiday, Drew Holiday, the likes. They have Gary Harris, who pretty much is a shooter. Richard Jefferson, who comes off of their bench, who doesn't really play for them, but he would honestly probably be one of those dark horse guys that'll come into the game and do have good possessions against the Sixers. There always seems to be somebody like that on each team for the Sixers. And then they have Jamal Murray, who has a 36% clip from the three. And then, of course, they have Kenneth Faried, who is still a solid player, not having the best season this year. They have Hernan Gomez down low. Jokic is their big guy down low. Paul Millsap's injured and is not expected to be back. Now he's not back with a sore wrist. For the update, Plumlee is the backup to Jokic, who gets a lot of boards himself. He gets about 6 to 8 a game for the last 3-4 games, and those numbers will probably go up without Embiid if we don't use Rashawn Holmes and just use Amir Johnson. That's the biggest thing. The biggest thing's not even Embiid resting, because if Embiid was resting and we put Rashawn Holmes in, he would have had a better chance in some of these games that we blew leads without Embiid in, because Amir Johnson's defense down low has been atrocious. And he just needs to have somebody else in it. Rashawn Holmes needs to be in. So if we're going to keep resting Embiid like this, put Rashawn Holmes in. Because Amir Johnson has no future with the franchise. It's Rashawn Holmes and Embiid could be your two. Obviously, Embiid starter and Rashawn Holmes right behind him as a center, because Rashawn Holmes is the nitty-gritty pounder fighter that shows tenacity every game he comes in and will not give up on any play. He needs to play more pronto. I don't really like how Brett Brown's managing this team. I don't necessarily dislike him as a coach. I still think he can be fine, but he really needs to get his act together fast, because he is starting to get really annoying. So, hopefully the Sixers get their act together tonight, don't blow another lead. They have to defend the paint very well, which is why I think we need to put Holmes in this game. And they need to grab boards very well, which is another reason why I think we need to put Holmes in this game. So hopefully they play Holmes more, otherwise I think this game will get ugly in the paint. Well, this has been a look ahead to the Sixers game against the Nuggets. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy the game. Have a good Saturday. As long as the game is enjoyable. Peace.